Hey, welcome back to another Behind the Why short. Today I just want to try to get a conversation started on some things that is stirring up America. America is being changed. And while you and I are asleep on the rack, so to speak, maybe enjoying that stimulus check, the powers that be, they're making things happen. So join me again on Behind the Why. Before you do that, though, before we do that, should I say, won't you take a moment to go ahead and hit that bell, ding, ring that bell, and after you subscribe to the channel, you'll get a notification that every time we drop a new episode, you'll be there. Also, besides subscribing and liking, we'd like you to share this with as many people as you can. Let's get people involved in this conversation. Because what I want people to do is to talk, to have intelligent conversation. That way we can tell what's really going on. I think it was Marvin Gaye that said, "What's going on? Don't respond to me with brutality, but instead let's talk intelligently and find out how we can save America together." So what has really intrigued me this week is these changes. You know, I find it bizarre and a little bit disturbing that before the election last year, the Democrats were so concerned about President Trump trying to pack the Supreme Court, as if he was going to put justices on the court that would only do what he told them to do. But what I find here now is it is President Biden who is doing exactly that. He's trying now to pack the Supreme Court. Read about it. You'll see here he's now trying to get a commission started. Actually, he's got a commission already impaneled, and they're going to try to find legal ways to get around the stipulations or the restrictions that have been imposed on the Supreme Court. Now, truth be told, there has not been a constitutional or legal mandate on the amount of justice, the 9 justices we have now, but they have served well to keep the constitutional system in check. The problem we've had over time, if you remember this, is that the American government is defined as a 3-pronged government. You have the executive, you have the legislative, and then you have the judiciary. And those 3 are supposed to be operating independent of one another in order to keep one another in balance. But what we have done of late, for the last 35, 40 years, maybe 50 years now, we've really increasingly blurred those lines. And it goes back to what we talked about before. Not Republican, Democrat, but the elitists. Now, here's the problem, because I'm going to go back and we're going to talk a little bit about Republican and Democrat, because in this system of government that we have, there's only those 2 parties to really talk about. So here, we have a sitting president who happens to be Democrat, and he is pushing hard now to stack the Supreme Court. The last time this happened of note, I think, was in 1937. Another Democrat president, President Roosevelt, who then also tried to stack the Supreme Court. My question is, why is it always a Democrat elitists who are trying to stack the Supreme Court to force on the American people their ideas of what should or should not be? Another thing that we should be looking at in this change in America is this rapid push to gun control. If you look around the world, look back to Australia, for instance, when they outlawed guns in the nation there, violent crime rose exponentially. Why? Because the criminal populace kept their guns, and 2, they knew that lawful citizens didn't have any. We look here in America, look at the states where we have open carry, people carry their weapons, and you'll find that the violent crime rate is some of the lowest. And you look at states, and especially cities like Chicago, Detroit, places like that, where you have all these restrictive gun laws, and what do you find? You find violent crime going through the roof. Why? Because you're stripping the average person of their ability to carry and ability to take care of themselves, and those who are criminals, well, they like prey. They don't like challenges, they like prey. You can learn a lot from watching National Geographic. I'll sit back and I watch the pride of lion go out, and they're sitting there lazily in the sun as the herds go by, the different herds, wildebeest, zebra, whatever it may be. They stride by, and the lioness will get up and they'll take their stretch and they yawn, and they're getting ready to go. They send a high signal to each other. They start circling the herd. What are they looking for? They're looking for prey. They're not looking for the strong stallion or the very alert mare. No, they're looking for the babies They're looking for the old, the infirm, the ignorant, the stupid. They're looking for those who are not paying attention. Why? Because they want prey. They don't want to challenge. They don't want to fight. They know full well that a grown stallion can kick them, break a rib, and kill them. And there's no doctors out on the plain. So lions know this, and so they pick their prey wisely. And the same thing is true. I want to say John chapter 11, verses 9 and 10, if I've got my reference right, what Jesus says to the disciples on his way to see Lazarus. He says, you have to work while there's daylight. There's 12 hours of daylight, and when you walk in the day, you don't stumble or fall. But those who try to walk at night, they stumble because they don't have the light of the sun. And that's what's happening here in America. This darkness is falling over our consciousness. You think about an elephant in the wild. And lions don't typically attack elephants until night, because lions have something that elephants do not have. Lions have the ability to see very well in the dark. And so an elephant can be attacked at night by a group of lions. And that's what's happening here in America. Slowly but surely, the lions, so to speak, those who are the elites, have been lowering this veil of darkness over the conscious mind of America. And we are slowly but surely allowing them to sucker us to sleep with stimulus packets, with things that sound like they're doing us good, with the overstretch of government. And don't get me wrong, Corona is real, but some of the things that they have done as a result of Corona has just been criminal. And they're still pushing it. They've reached in places they've never reached before to pull darkness down over the eyes of the church, where people are afraid to gather and go worship God. But those same people who won't go to the house of God to worship will flock to Walmart and spend that stimulus check. What, does the bug stop at the door when you get to Walmart? I don't understand. You can't go to church, but you can go to Walmart. So we look at all these things starting happening. I'm not cracking on you because of Walmart. That's between you and your own conscience. But what I'm cracking on is the fact that the government has been involved to make these things happen. Slowly but surely, America is being changed, and we are asleep on the bunk. We're asleep. We're that big giant elephant that is so powerful in the day that nothing touches it, but at night can fall prey to a group of lions. So I'm telling you, we have to get behind the why. Why is President Biden pushing so hard to have this Supreme Court altered, to pack it with Democrats, or those who are not Democrats, but those who are liberal, the elite liberals? Why is he striving so hard to take guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens? Why is he trying so hard to make it impossible for parents to stand up and protect their children against having these sex change operations? Why is he making it so hard for teachers to educate students on life rather than just indoctrinating them with the company line? See, these are things you have to ask yourself the question to. What is behind all this? Because it's coming. It's coming. And you and I, we can't afford to be sleeping anymore. Because guess what? It's daytime now, but night's coming. And when night falls, no man can walk because it's dark. Remember, take the time to get behind the why. Until next time, God bless you. God keep you. We're out. Peace.